Hello, and welcome to the 257th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Brucker. We're coming to you live here from Casa de Brucker, where we're going to be having another outstanding beer. Today, from our local brewery, Ovidedo Brewing Company, we're going to be having their 100. And I'll tell you about what the 100 means, and we'll talk about the style of beer. This is a triple New England IPA hazy. Now that's a mouthful. That's a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead, while we're pouring this, let's go ahead and talk about what the 100 is. Okay, well, it's their 100th beer. So Ovidedo Brewing Company is relatively new as far as breweries go. So this is their 100th batch of beer that they made, which is a great milestone. So they named the beer after it, 100. Now, I've had this beer before, so I'm not going to tell you otherwise. And it is a delicious beer. And you can pretty much tell by looking at the beer. You're getting a beautiful, almost orange juice looking color here, like a darker orange juice, with a great head. So you got perfect carbonation. All around, absolutely beautiful beer. So let's talk before we even start smelling about it, is what do you usually find in a triple IPA? Because people wonder, hey, triple IPA, double IPA, what's the... So typically with a triple IPA, you're gonna get hops, don't get me wrong, but you're also gonna get malts, okay? Some of the IPAs are much lighter on the, higher on the hops, not the malty goodness, as to what you get with a triple or even double IPA. They add a little bit more malt. They also get a little bit higher in the alcohol content. This beer clocks in at 9% alcohol by volume, and it does not have a rating as it's a local beer, not one that I could find. So I'm going to rate it at the end of the show here. So let's go ahead and let's smell and see what we smell in here. Well, first of all, before we even get started, this beer is made with Citra, Sativa, and Zamba hops. I think that's what it was. Zamba, Citra, Sativa hops. So we got some really good hops in it, okay? And the smell. When you smell a good hazy IPA, it just kind of warms you up inside. It makes you almost feel like you're on an island or something, because you're getting the tropical fruit flavors, like the pineapple, maybe some mango. Oh, just absolutely phenomenal. And this smells like a really good high quality IPA, which I know it is because I've had it before, but it definitely, they hit the mark on this. And Nolan definitely knows what he's doing, the brewer who brews the beer. He definitely knows what he's doing. So he's very true to style with the beers, and he did an outstanding job on this one. So I'll give him lots of credit for that. So let's go ahead and taste it. I mean, most of your IPAs are gonna smell or taste, somewhat similar, but getting it just right to where it's not too sweet, not too bitter, getting the right mixture of hops, especially in the higher octane ones, the ones that are like 9%, where you want to get that malt to keep it from being overly hoppy. We've talked about this before. Typically with hoppy beers, there's basically two varieties. Well, there's more than two varieties, but there's West Coast IPA, which is more of the piney, resiny, and then there's New England IPAs, which are more of the fruit-forward type of IPAs. And then when you get to the Imperial IPAs or triple IPAs, then you're getting the fruitier hops, but you're blending that very well with lots of malt to give you the flavor. So spot on, beautiful hazy, absolutely picture perfect. So let's taste it. It is so delicious. If you love a good IPA, I mean, this isn't the only good IPA they've got, don't get me wrong, because we've done beer issues on these before, but this is very, very good. It's number one, I love a good hazy IPA. I actually like New England IPAs better than West Coast IPAs. Some people are more West Coast, they might like more of the piney, resiny, but I like a little bit more of the fruit forward, especially when it's imperial, or with the malts, because I'm a malt head. So I do love to have a good amount of malts in there to kind of balance out the beer. But they did an excellent job on this beer. You get the pineapple, definitely. Maybe some mango. It's the tropical, and I never, because sometimes with IPAs, I can never particularly pick out what makes it tropical. It's all derived from the hops, but you get that tropical flavor. It's like a blend, so it's hard to distinguish. But there's definitely pineapple. I would say mango, maybe almost like passion fruit type of flavor in there a little bit, but it's all derived from the hops. There's none of that actually in there, so it's a true IPA. It's not, there's no fruit added or anything like that. But that's the flavor that they derive from the hops. But an absolutely beautiful beer we're having in the I Have Beer Issues glass, which is my most cherished IPA glass, and that's what I drink almost all of my IPAs out of, exclusively out of this glass, because it does bring out the flavor of the beer. There's something about the shape of this particular glass, this IPA glass, that actually enhances the flavor of the beer. So, that is so stupendous. So the 100 is a 100 in my book. Well, actually, I told you I was going to give you a rating. I'm not going to give it 100, but I'm going to give it a solid 90, which for me to give a beer a 90, that takes a lot. But I think they've earned every bit of this 90. And I think it's an outstanding beer. So make sure if you go to Ovidedo Brewing Company, check out the 100, especially if you're a hophead, because it is outstanding. So if you've enjoyed this, make sure you tell your friends about beer issues and how much fun we're having talking about great beer and drinking great beer. Make sure if they want any cool Beer Issues gear, like Beer Issues t-shirts, phone cases, hats, you name it, go to shop.beerissues.com. And as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.